The NBA and sports betting, it's a relationship that's always walked a fine line. On one hand, the league has fully embraced the gambling wave, cashing in on massive partnerships and making money off the betting boom. But on the other hand, the dark side of gambling is never too far away, lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to strike. And now, it looks like we might have another scandal on our hands, one that could send shockwaves through the league. At the center of it, former Charlotte Hornets guard Terry Rozier. Now let's be clear, he hasn't been charged with anything, and there's no official accusation of wrongdoing. But the whispers, they're getting louder. And it all traces back to one game, March 23rd, 2023. That night, the Hornets took on the Pelicans. Rozier started off hot, dropping 5 points, grabbing 4 rebounds, and dishing out 2 assists in just the first quarter. He was locked in, playing with purpose, controlling the offense. And then, everything changed. After just 9 minutes and 36 seconds on the court, Terry Rozier suddenly checked out with a reported foot injury. Just like that, his night was over. At first, it might not have seemed like a big deal. Players get injured all the time, right? But sharp bettors and integrity monitors noticed something strange. The betting markets flagged the game due to unusual activity before Rozier's unexpected exit. This wasn't just some random injury, it had all the signs of something bigger. And the craziest part? Before he left the game, Rozier was actually on pace for a strong performance. He wasn't struggling, he wasn't playing through pain, he was hitting his shots. Right before tip-off, a flood of bets came in, all on Rozier hitting the under on his stat props. And guess what? Those bets hit easily after he left the game early. It was almost too perfect. Here's where it gets even weirder. Rozier showed no visible signs of injury before checking out. No limping, no awkward landings, nothing. Yet, he never returned, and since the Hornets were already out of the playoff race, they decided to shut him down for the rest of the season. Enjoying this so far? Don't forget to hit subscribe for more like this. US Integrity, the firm that tracks suspicious betting patterns, just flagged this game. And here's the wild part. In the past few years, only 3 NBA-related alerts have been reported. The other 2, both tied to Jontay Porter, who got banned for life. So what does that mean for Terry Rozier? If this case follows a similar path, the Heat guard could be facing serious consequences. But does this actually prove Rozier was involved in something shady? Or is this all just a crazy coincidence?
Back and forth on Twitter, or at least I did, as Rozier knocks down the 3.
There's a lot to break down here. US Integrity alerted sportsbooks and the NBA about unusual betting activity on Rozier underperforming in specific statistical categories, such as total points or rebounds. According to sources, some sportsbooks responded by halting bets on Rozier's stats that day. Let's take a look at March 2024, when the NBA launched an investigation into 2 Raptors games. The bets? Suspicious. A ton of money was pouring in on the unders for Jontay Porter's prop bets. Then, in both games against the Sacramento Kings and New York Knicks, Porter pulled himself out early, almost like certain people knew exactly what was about to happen. Fast forward, arrests were made, and Porter admitted to betting on himself and leaking inside information to cover his debts. Then, in January of this year, even more was uncovered when leaked text messages surfaced. Before a game on January 26, 2024, Porter allegedly sent a message to a co-conspirator stating, "Hit unders for the big numbers. I told co-conspirator 2, no blocks, no steals. I'm going to play the first 2 to 3 minutes off the bench. Then when I get subbed out, tell them my eye's killing me again. I'm going to play the first 2 to 3 minutes off the bench. Then when I get subbed out, tell them my eye's killing me again." By April, the NBA had seen enough. Porter was banned for life. The Wall Street Journal first broke the story, revealing that unusual betting activity tied to Rozier's performance is now under the microscope in a larger federal investigation. The NBA initially looked into the matter, but found no violations of league rules. However, the US. The Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York has now taken over, and the league has confirmed it's cooperating. While Rozier hasn't been formally accused of anything, the situation draws clear comparisons to Jontay Porter's lifetime ban. Porter was caught leaking confidential health info before a game, allowing certain bettors to cash in big. In Rozier's case, betting markets seemed to predict his early exit, raising serious questions about whether inside information played a role. The NBA is stepping up to prevent more betting scandals from shaking up the league. After the Porter investigation, sportsbooks stopped offering player prop bets for the lowest paid guys, figuring they're more likely to be tempted by extra cash. But let's be real, Rozier isn't some fringe player. He's in year 3 of a 4-year, $96.3 million deal, so he's well paid and established in the league. If a player at his level got caught up in a scandal, it would take the NBA's betting drama to a whole new level. The league insists it's serious about protecting the game's integrity, but with sports betting blowing up, that's easier said than done. The NBA's gambling partnerships bring in a ton of money, but they also come with some major ethical dilemmas. The more money that flows into betting, the more tempting it becomes for players, coaches, and insiders to cash in on what they know. There is nothing more important than protecting the integrity of NBA competition, Commissioner Adam Silver declared, after banning Porter for violating the league's gambling rules. The NBA Players Association backed that stance, emphasizing the importance of fairness while pledging support for impacted players. Ever since the Supreme Court lifted the ban on sports betting in 2018, gambling has exploded, especially during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. With mobile apps making it easier than ever to place bets, concerns about match fixing and gambling addiction are growing fast. Calls to gambling helplines are rising, and experts warn that the flood of betting opportunities is only making things worse. As columnist Thomas O'Brien pointed out in 2023, online betting has made match fixing more common and accessible. Now, the NBA is at a crossroads. How does it profit from the booming sports gambling industry while making sure the game stays fair? This latest scandal might just be the beginning. The Terry Rozier situation is just another reminder of how messy sports betting has gotten for the NBA. Back in the day, scandals were all about point shaving, but now it's prop bets. Specific stat lines that are way easier to mess with than full game outcomes. And with sportsbooks running 24/7 and people always looking for an edge, the risk of insider info slipping out is bigger than ever. Rozier's case is still up in the air, but since federal prosecutors are involved, it's clear the NBA is taking this seriously. Even if he's completely in the clear, this whole thing is probably going to lead to stricter rules on player prop bets. First, we had the Jontay Porter scandal, and now this. So the real question is, can the NBA fully embrace sports betting without messing with the integrity of the game? It's a tricky balance, and let's be real, this probably won't be the last time we hear about something like this. What do you think? Is this about to turn into a huge scandal, or is it all just a coincidence? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more deep dives into the biggest NBA stories. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.